2018 has come and gone. It is now 2019, and I, Hellgear, simply want to talk about what has been and what's to come. Yeah, I'm doing one of those moments. 2018 was, if nothing else, 2018, it blew a lot, but a lot of good things came out of it. You know, between finally starting to get rolling on getting some of that good pay, only to find out that algorithm has changed, so the fact that now we're putting up this new one and we're cutting you out of your pay sucked hard, because I couldn't get my bread and meat. Right when I'm finally getting bread and meat, I'm taken away from the bread and meat deal. That doesn't matter. I started doing this before I was getting bread and meat. I was doing this during getting bread and meat. And I've been doing this after no longer getting bread and meat. Gotta start somewhere, right? Right. One good thing I can say is that you guys, my watchers and subscribers, man, thank you. Hit that wonderful channel milestone, and that channel milestone has been something else, and it's been ups and downs. But I think things are starting to normalize now. And with the holiday season coming to an end, and kids are getting ready to go back to school because Christmas is over and the new year is here, it's time to get back on the horn. New year, new fresh start, as they say. That's why you see this backdrop. Is it a sunrise? Is it a sunset? Is it the reflecting of 2018, or what's to come in 2019? I'll let you decide. As far as content is gone on this channel, I've learned one of the biggest lessons that I unfortunately was forced to learn. And that was, you have to be that guy. You have to be that guy that looks at views and likes. And when I started this channel, I did this solely to do a couple of things. One, to entertain, and I'm still uploading content solely to entertain. But number 0 was not to be that guy that looks at likes and views, only to find out that not looking at likes and views has been the hardest Achilles heel to ever befall upon my channel. And one of the big extensions, or Jesus, what's the word I'm trying to use here? Accents to this is seeing what does what on the channel. Now let's be perfectly clear. I'm still doing this to entertain, but as I've learned, there are certain series of content that you, my subscribers and viewers, are entertained by and you watch. There's some content that just doesn't get watched at all. And then there's content that's enjoyed a lot and is watched a lot. And with 2018 done, and with 2019 the beginning, I've decided that I'm going to not just be that guy, but I'm also going to implement strategy as far as what's going on with the channel. So, the schedule that I spoke about previously, that's still a go. We're going to keep that. However, I'm looking at my playlists, and the first order of business is simple. The playlists that have been on hiatus due to content not coming out or whatever, the case may be, or I'm getting back into it, I'm gonna start wrapping that up first. You know, a perfect example of that is South Park: The Fractured But Whole. I recently was able to return to that game and do the Bring the Crunch DLC, and that's going to be something that gets uploaded, as I said, on its schedule for Tuesdays and Fridays. You know, that's one of the things that's returning to the channel. I'm getting back to it. Another one that I'm returning to and getting back to is, of course, Super Bomberman R. That's going to be something that just, it gets more episodes now. You know, I'm on the 4th planet, and it would be nice to actually finish that out. Then of course, Kirby Star Allies got its nice little wave of DLC. Plus, there's a brand new stage setup, so gonna be doing that as well. And lastly, there is all the Splatoon 2 antics. You know, even with Smash Brothers dropping last month, there's still a lot of Splatoon 2 to be had, and most importantly, I have to get through Cell Block Ock, as I call the Octo expansion. But as I'm figuring out, and this is like hit or miss with Splatoon 2. Some of the content on Splatoon 2 is watched, and then there's parts of it that aren't watched. And my take on it is this, which leads to the second order of business. If certain content is not getting watched, this tells me two things. Number two, it tells me that no one is being entertained. You know, if I throw up a video from one of my contents or one of the various series that I have going on, and it's just not getting the watch time, that tells me it's not entertaining enough, or not entertaining at all to keep you guys interested in that. And that's something I learned in the middle of last year. You know, everyone's tastes in content change. I learned that the hard way, actually, with Splatoon 2. Which brings me to thing number one. And thing number one is simple. If the interest in watching the content is not there, watching the content that's made to entertain you guys, I should divert that effort, which is being wasted, into other content that is being watched by you guys. So, this is a part of being that guy. Now, to those of you who are new to YouTube, this is how it works. In order for channels to grow, you need to do two things within 1 year's time. Thing number two, your total number of videos by people who watch and subscribe to you within the year must be 4,000 hours minimum. And thing number two, you have to pull in 1,000 subscribers. That's essentially how the algorithm is working now. If you want to float on the YouTube boat or in the sea of YouTube, you have to be able to do those two things. And unfortunately, in order to do that, you have to keep track of who is watching what on your content. Now, I'll be honest with you, most of my stuff is low tech. Not even gonna lie, all right? A lot of people have been tweeting what their setups look like. And this one dude, he has 3 monitors hooked up to his PC. 3 monitors. It's like there's one on the left and one on the right, and then there's one on top. Then there's another guy who has 2 monitors hooked up to his rig, and then off to the left there's a Cintiq. And oh my god, Cintiqs are amazing, because you know they do the art thing. And while I don't have that sweet rig going on, I use what I have. Okay, I don't have the DX Racer chair. I got this plastic chair and a pillow for my back. You know, you got to start with the little stuff before you can get to the big stuff. You know, crawl before you walk, walk before you run, run before you mad sprint down the track. So, next issue, and this is in regards to series. There are 2 series coming up that I have planned, and these are some throwback series. One is based off of a particular cartoon that I loved watching. I'm not sure when I'm going to start that throwback series, but I plan to do a lot of interesting things with this playthrough, and I hope you guys check this out. The second one is not only a throwback, but it's more like a GOAT game. And I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I have plans to do this series for Easter. So around Easter time, there's going to be a very special playthrough. And I want to enjoy every last bit of that, and I hope you enjoy every last bit of that too. Now, with the exception of what's going on, again, with the catch-up stuff going on, I'm going to be looking at views. What's being watched by you guys is what is entertaining you guys. That is how I'm portraying things. I mean, sure, I don't get the comments like I would love to have comments, you know, just to hear from all of you, and I'm fine with that. People are shy, you know. But here's the thing. I'd have to act like a butcher that has a lot of meat, and the lot of that meat is fatty, and it's my job to trim the fat, because nobody wants to go to the butcher for their meat and it's got all that fat, because that's fat that they have to trim off, because you know that stuff's not going to cook right. Euphemisms aside, if things aren't entertaining, if it's not getting the views and likes that, you know, show that the audience is still engaged in things, it's out of here. That simple. It's out of here. You know, I'm not going to burn any more of my energy and efforts on content that isn't viewed. Because content that isn't viewed by you is content that I'm making that is not entertaining you. And my content is to entertain, you know. Even if it's gameplays of whatever game, I'm doing this to entertain. That is foremost. You know, I want to entertain with the content that I upload for all of you guys, and proof of entertainment is by views and likes. You know, which is why I say near the end of the videos, if you enjoy yourselves, remember to show your love and hit the like button. And also share these videos with your friends and family members and others that you know who watch YouTube. I say this because if I can entertain you and you like me, which I hope you like me, you'll pass on my content to your friends so they can watch, be entertained by me, and sub. so that I can entertain more of you guys. Because I want to entertain as many of you as I can going forward into 2019. There are some upcoming series that are in lieu to be played, but I'm gonna have to take things by ear. You know, there's a lot, not just in gaming, but movie reviews as well. But I have to make sure I trim the fat on a lot of stale and stagnating content. Because if there's no interest from you guys, again, I'm saying this even though it sounds like I'm beating a dead horse, but repetition is one of the greatest forms of memory. You know, people work cohesively with repetition. You know, if it's not entertaining to you, then I shouldn't be burning my efforts putting content into it and just let it go. You know, if it's not entertaining to you, then I'm not going to spend energy and time trying to entertain. You know, it's like doing something for moot. No matter how much content you put out a particular thing, no matter how much effort, no matter how much engagement you may want, but it doesn't happen, it's like, stop wasting your time on this. It's not wanted. You know, it's the split pea soup at the dinner. Nobody wants that. Unless you like split pea soup, then I apologize. But it's as simple as that. So for this first couple of weeks, I'm going to be looking at what is viewed by you guys, not just with currently existing series, but some of the newer stuff as well, like Smash Brothers. And if things are engaging you guys, if you're being entertained, cool. Beat goes on. Like the Trolls Netflix series, The Beat Goes On. Yeah, the second Trolls movie is coming up, so I gotta have to make sure to go and see that, because I saw the first one. And if things aren't rolling on, you know, you're getting off at the next station on the train. All in all, I just want to say, and I can never say this enough, thank you to every last one of you, my viewers and subscribers, for watching the content that I create to entertain you. I appreciate it. I know I never say it enough. Again, I'm repeating myself, but it helps me with my cohesion. I do appreciate you guys coming out every day. Never let it be said that I do not appreciate you guys, because I do. I appreciate you for the entirety of my heart. As far as what's to come, you know, that blank slate is polished and ready to go. I gotta start chiseling away at it now. See what sculpture I can get into. And this brings me to the shop. As you guys know, I had some shop issues in regards to getting some things up. Well, I had to cut ties with them. So, I'm going to find me another shop. And I'm going to revolve my merch around stuff that I like. Because let's be honest, stuff that is out for existing series isn't always of something you like. And we're talking about safe for work stuff here, folks. You know, for example, you could see... what's a good example of something that's current that people like? Okay, sure, we'll use My Hero Academia for the perfect example. You know, you may have a certain set of characters from My Hero Academia that you would like to see on merchandise, but when you go to shops or conventions, you'll never find that. You know, you won't find that particular merchandise. And I get this a lot, especially with Charlie Brown stuff. You know, you can look at a lot of the Charlie Brown stuff out there, and it's just like the generic Charlie Brown stuff, not really a Charlie Brown theme specific item that you would like to purchase. You know, and companies are like that. They never get you something that you want, especially if you're like, oh, I like this series, but I'd love to get merchandise of this on it, but the people behind said series don't make it when part of their merch. They just make the generic status quo-esque merchandise. Wow, is that even a word? Status quo-esque? Well, I guess I can hyphenate it. But that's all I'm going to say on this matter. If there are certain content series that you guys enjoy a lot more than others, tell me. If there are particular content series that you don't too much care for, tell me. You know, give me a gauge for 2019 to entertain you guys with, because with knowledge of knowing what you will and will not watch as far as the content goes on Channel Hellgear, the better I can do to entertain all of you. I hope you had a really good New Year celebration, but it's time for me to get up out of here. Thank you guys so much. This goes into effect now.